Hey, James G here with Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. But remember, if you need to, you can always find us online at tarpleymusic.com. Very special video today. I've got Jay here from Alvarez. Really excited to sit down. I'm just going to kind of let him do some spiel on some guitars here, and if I have some questions, we'll come up with them. But take it away, Jay. It's great having you here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Yeah. So this is the kind of beginning of Alvarez in 1965. We had a relationship with Mr. Yairi.
Did you hear that? That's
in
how
Texas,
you say it.
it's Yairi.
Yairi?
Yairi.
Yairi.
And we had started 65, and here we are, almost 58 years later. Mm-hmm. And so these are handmade instruments. They're made in a small shop, not a factory, but a shop in Japan. It's 24 luthiers, and they build them all by hand. No CNC. It's all traditional methods. And of course, we feature things like the direct coupled bridge, the Phantom pickguard on this one. Mm-hmm. And this particular model is actually part of the Honduran series, which is a supply of wood we found about 6-7 years ago. After Mr. Yairi had passed, he left the family a parking lot. And the parking lot was his stash of wood from the late 60s, early 70s.
That's why no one else has it.
Right. I know certain people out there I used to work for would kill for this wood. It's part of the family, because nobody has air-dried wood that's been sitting around for 50 years.
Right. Yeah.
The result is the guitar is super resonant, real lightweight, and also because they're made by hand, the intonation's like spot on.
Sure.
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
All you have to hear is two chords, just basically, and
yep. And you can officially play any gig in Texas now. You know G.
G.
That's pretty much it. Oh, okay. Don't get all fancy. Man, that sounds huge.
It does. And it's really.
And just for you guys, you realize the only thing we have is our Sennheiser shotgun that's pulling that. So all that sound.
Shotgun? You said shotgun?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah, good Texas.
It's a Texas. It's got to be a shotgun. Be sure and tip your waitress.
Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Yeah, so again, these are handmade instruments, unlike a lot of other companies that use, CNC to build their stuff. It's all done individually. One guy actually shaves the neck by hand, spoke shaving style. It's an old
and that's all he does.
That's all he does.
Wow.
Yeah. And the 24 guys. Goto gears, the 510 gears, top of the line gears. This is all solid aged mahogany. And the direct couple bridge is actually part of the bridge plate here. These things never pull. We actually have a selection of these bridges in St. Louis as a backup in case they would ever fail. And in all the years, we've never ever replaced one.
Wow.
So
I didn't realize that.
They never pull. It's got a greater brake angle. Over the saddle, so you get more volume, more kick out of a smaller body.
I think I might have a lot more sustain that way too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Just, you can go and have a bite,
I'll be right back.
So good.
So, any questions about that?
No, not really. And so, what all costs as far as body shapes and everything like that?
Yeah, we have Dread. This is an OEM size. We have a Parlor. We have a new Parlor coming out towards the end of the year. It's going to be the same as this, all mahogany. We have a current one with an Adirondack top. This will be an all mahogany slotted headstock, 12-fret model. Request from people. So this is a part of our Masterwork series. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's all solid, and that's the same thing. If you go down to the Alvarez line, the rest of the stuff actually starts off with Masterworks, which is all solid.
Right.
So Masterworks signifies that.
Okay.
If it's an artist, it's a solid top, and then a laminate sides and back.
Okay.
And then Regent is all laminate.
Okay.
And a note about the Yairi thing is unique. They do make guitars, and in fact, for many, many years, he made these guitars as a laminate, sides and back, and solid top. And that was brought on purpose, because his laminates were actually, the outside and inside plies are the same wood. So if it's rosewood on the outside, it's rosewood on the inside, and the center ply, the third ply, actually goes the opposite direction when it's glued, and it's the same wood as the inside and outside.
Oh, okay.
So it's stronger.
Right. And, so it's extremely durable, yeah.
Extremely. Also, his concept was that having a really stiff sides and back, it projected more. It's more like a horn, as opposed to having just foam rubber behind it.
Right.
And it's always been the story of Mr. Yairi from going back even beyond the '65 for us. And I was in Paris some years ago looking at the Django guitars, the Gypsy Jazz guitars.
Yeah.
And the guy had one. And it was like, $5,000. And there was another one that was a little cheaper, and it was like $3,000. I said, what's the difference? He goes, well, the laminate one is the real one, and that's $5,000. The all solid is actually the cheap one.
Interesting.
And I thought about Mr. Yairi.
Yeah.
And I thought, really? So, and it's the same concept. In that world, it's all about that sword fight between the guys playing.
Sure.
And you want the loudest guitar possible kicking out here. So having the stiffer sides and back projects better. So
Right.
if the guy's going to be gigging, laminate sides and back is a good way to go because it pushes more out front. If you're on your couch at home hanging out,
Sure.
you want to feel this. You know,
Yeah.
when you play, like, give this a whack and see.
Yeah, maybe even miking it up in a situation where it's just it's all gonna be there. And so this almost feels like a V style.
It is. So it's a soft V down here, turns into kind of more of a softer C as it goes up.
Oh, okay.
It has a compound profile.
And what's the radius? 16-ish?
15.75. You're supposed to practice at home.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No, there's no.
But you can feel that, right?
I just fake gigs for a living. That's what I do.
You and me both. It's that whole tuning thing. You gotta get the tuning thing down too. You get the down.
I mean, yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, versus.
Moving. Yeah.
I can tell by the look.
My whole life.
I can see a look in your face.
It's just great. Yeah, absolutely. But that's surprising because I have small hands, and so, but I can really, whether I'm barring or doing a weird shape or something, it seems extremely comfortable.
Yeah, it's the same profile on the rest of the Alvarez line. It's that soft V down here, and it goes to more of a C profile up here.
I gotcha.
Super comfortable.
Yeah, it does. So when you're doing single note playing up here, it's. Yeah.
There's no money up there. You know, all the cash.
No, it's not. All money's right here, buddy.
The cash is right there, dude.
No money above the 5th fret. It's the only thing you can learn from me.
That tuning trick too. Your tuning trick.
Yeah. It's perfect. Perfect.
Perfect. There's a story behind that, actually, but
yeah, I know. That's okay.
Don't pass that story along. Anyway.
That's great. Awesome. Yeah. So.
So again, Masterworks all solid. Artist is solid top.
Solid top.
Laminate sides and back, and it's the same philosophy with the Alvarez and Alvarez Yairi, or Yairi.
Yeah.
And then regions are all laminate.
Okay, so it really has nothing to do with other than that's the simplicity of everything. So what would make the Elite? Is there a difference between the regular
Elite's
and the Elite?
a little bit nicer wood.
Okay.
Typically we have an arm carve here.
Okay.
We use like the VTC preamp, the inside, the LR bags, VTC preamp in here, versus the Stage Pro.
Just that extra little icing kind of on the cake.
Right, a little bit more bells. So it's a little bit nicer preamp with the that. So yeah, any Masterworks Elite or Artist Elite.
Well, my main workhorse acoustic is actually an Alvarez Artist Series, and I can actually say that and be honest. And so, but it's
Great choice.
Well, it is because, and it's so. I have so many people come up and ask when they're, oh, I'm like, oh, it must be $2,000-$3,000. I'm like, no, not even close. No. I tell them when I paid for it, they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, it kills, whether I'm playing by myself or because I mostly play lead electric guitar. But when I do solo acoustic gigs like that, it's never, and it holds even outside.
And for the live guy like yourself, I mean, really having the laminate sides and back, there's less feedback problems.
Yep.
Also, in a bar, it's a little bit more resilient to abuse, and it projects more out here.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's kind of more about the electronics that really make the difference.
Sure.
Out front if you're plugged in.
Yeah. Yeah. And then mine is the tune,
VTC
the
style.
VTC, which it's great, but it literally came down to I'm a working musician, so there's not a whole lot of money to be put into gear. That's just when I started going around at the price point, it was really just kind of like no one else is touching this price, this $800 to $900, just no one else. So that's what I ended up getting. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And we're starting to use a new version of the VTC. It's called the Hi-Fi from Bags. It came out of NAMM.
Okay.
It's based on the soundboard.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like
still just tone and volume here.
Yeah, volume and tone, and then it has this kind of. It's actually instead of being an under saddle, it's actually on the bridge plate itself.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got a little bit more.
Yeah.
You get this going on. That'll be on our guitars probably next year as well. So it's a new system, but the VTC sounds great. It's a really plug in and play.
I've had several sound guys too just be like, man, it's an easy guitar. And I was like, everything's all the way open all the time, and that's how I really don't have to dial anything back up.
Sounds great. Feedback's pretty minimal. A quick little note: we also had this guitar in this particular one, the '66, in a very famous store in Nashville a couple weeks ago, and the owner said that was the best mahogany guitar he'd ever played.
Wow.
And I can't mention any names, but he was super impressed with those guitars. And again,
he's probably played a few too.
He's played quite a few. And it's a little note. And
Yeah.
I mean, really, again, the handmade thing, and that's kind of where everything starts with Alvarez, is the Alvarez Yairi. That's where it started, going back 58 years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of the ideas, the neck profile, some of the construction, some of the finishing comes from that. And then some cases it's actually improved over in our factory in Asia.
Yeah, and that's what we talk a lot about with with the sales staff and stuff. I did that for a very, very long time. So when they're asking me, I'm like, you'd be really surprised how effective it is to say nothing and put a guitar in their hands.
Right.
And almost because I'm trying to sell you with all these fancy specs. I'm like, just play the guitar.
Right.
And a lot of times people will play mine and go, oh, would you pay $1,500? I'm like, no, I didn't. And this would if you were to put a price point on it, and then I've seen the opposite. I've seen some. I won't mention other vendors, but $3,000. They're like, I can't because I don't work for Alvarez. But they'll be like, oh, what's this guitar like? $400? I'm like, $3,000. They're like, oh, I mean, so it really can matter, just that one particular instrument too. But
it does, and these, especially the handmade ones. I mean, you're getting a lot of guitar, and it's not even a price point to me. It's actually the way it sounds. And,
Sure.
I mean, I could walk into any store and if I put that guitar in somebody's hands, if they don't get it, it's not my guitar. It's the dude or the store or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, it's that good of an instrument.
Yeah.
At any price. It's not even a price point. It's just the way the thing actually sounds.
That's what I think that people would be surprised what they would buy if they just closed their eyes and you just started handing them guitars,
But as we know, guitarists hear with their eyes.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
That's it. It's always been the case. So
you got to spend $5,000 to get an amazing guitar. I'm like,
Man, no,
I'm not saying that there's not amazing $5,000 guitars.
Dude, you got to have the magic pick. That's what you got to have.
Oh, I don't have it at all. I have the unmagical pick.
Actually, I saw, kind of off track, I saw a show in St. Louis. It was Tommy Emmanuel was playing.
Yes, seen him several times.
Good
You
Lord.
just
Amazing.
want to sell all your crap, yeah.
And Mel Bay, who Mel Bay is.
Yeah, sure.
So Mel Bay is from St. Louis, or in that area. His son was sitting in front of me. And at one point during the show, he turns around and he goes, I think Tommy found the magic pick. It's because he sounded so amazing when he was playing. So I said, Tom, what kind of pick do you use? I need to buy that same pick. But I think he sold me a bogus one. Maybe it's a second.
Is that what it is?
Check it out.
It's perfect.
Okay, too much fun. So any other little points of clarity?
Oh, no, not really. That's great. And I think it's, a lot of people, when they get into acoustic guitars, and of course it can be, you go to one brand and then you see this whole slew and it can be kind of overwhelming. And so a lot of times what we try to do is break it down to the simplest things. It's really Regent, it's Artist, and Masterworks, and then above. It's
Right.
what are you
looking for? Are you a live player? Are you playing at home? Are you?
But don't look at 8 pages of models, because just look at these kind of basic, and then kind of break it down. And so I've done that with a lot of the other brands. So it's nice to hear.
There are other brands?
There are apparently other people who make guitars. So
okay.
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
There's Mailers and Flartons and some other ones.
I've heard of those guys.
I'm so fired.
Who's a guitar player? Taylor Martin. Have you ever seen that guy? Martin Taylor.
Martin Taylor. Yes. Martin Taylor Gibson.
Fender Gibson, Fender. But no, it's a great stuff. I've personally been playing Alvarez for 50 years myself.
Right.
I've thought about this 51 years now.
Yeah.
And the quality has actually it's gotten better from back then, even, I think.
Well, it's consistent.
Yeah,
it is one of those, and I say that wholeheartedly. I've told a lot of people that it's a brand I consistently can go into a store and it's gonna play.
Right. Well, they go through our shop. Every guitar goes through our guitar shop in St. Louis. It's been there for 50 years.
Right.
So
everything's taken, done, and then boxed again.
Yeah, there's specs we have for all the guitars. They go through every single one. I actually used to work the guitar shop myself back in 1980.
I was 5.
Were you 5? Well,
I just wanted to throw
I was only 6, though.
That was weird.
I'm in Missouri, the child labor.
Surprised he didn't make shoes.
That was my next gig, actually. But the bad things back then, so we go through every guitar, and these guitars now have coated strings, so they come from their manufacturing. They're actually pretty good. You said the dial in the frets, and that kind of thing. Back then, the strings were always shot. They came off the boat. There was no string. So after 6-7 weeks on a boat,
restrung everything.
So my quota was 35 guitars a day. I had to restring them and set them up. So to this day, you got to put a gun to my head before I change my strings. I don't change strings.
No, you don't have to anymore. It's okay.
No, yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you feel it? I'm still shaking. Just thinking about it.
I get manicures and pedicures now, so I don't want to change the strings. I've got it.
This guitar sounds good too.
Yeah.
But give me that one back.
Yeah. Okay. You want yours?
Yeah. It's actually not mine. It's Mr. Meekles. But
oh. Okay. They sound good together.
They do.
Yeah.
We didn't even tune up, did we?
I know. I literally just grabbed a guitar.
And I just came off the plane. I got the little tag here.
Tag to prove it.
Here's the tag right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Came off gate checked. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Actually, he was in the plane. He wasn't on the plane. But that's a whole nother
No,
conversation.
actually, I was on the plane.
Really? And your hat's still on. That's amazing.
Seats were cheaper.
This is horrible. All those comedians out of work, and here we are.
Yeah, they're for free,
So no, it's great stuff though. Great info. It's always kind of been one of my favorite brands. In fact, when I had opened my own store right before COVID hit, and that's actually how I met the Tarpleys and this whole thing. But that was one of the few brands new.
You opened your own store?
I did 5 months before COVID hit.
Man, timing is everything.
Apparently it is. But fortunately, it landed me to a much better situation.
But the Tarpley, the gang, are really great.
Who are they? Oh yeah, the Tarpleys. They're great. I like them.
Even from pops on down, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, right, it's really a family store, and we really appreciate their support.
It's been great, and for us to take on and doing a YouTube thing like this in the right way, they're constantly making smart decisions. So other than hiring me, but that's fine. We're gonna just go with it. Yeah, and
no, it's been about 4 years now as far as our association with.
Oh really? Yeah,
I believe so.
That's great.
Correct?
Yeah.
There we go.
That was a Tarpley.
Is that Tarpley?
That was a Tarpley. There's two Tarpleys behind the camera.
It's a live Tarpley. But yeah, it's been a great association from day one.
Awesome.
And I remember speaking to David and walking out and going, nice people. I mean, and you don't always meet in the music business. Sometimes it's purely about numbers.
Well, I know he had something to do with one of the A model guitars.
That is correct, which is right back here.
Yeah, I think we got it actually.
Right there.
And I mean, that tells you something right there. It was like, yeah, let's design a guitar together. I mean, that's involvement.
Right,
and I think we've done a video on that one. Maybe, I don't know. We've done so many. All of them. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, that's a great guitar. Although I have to say, at the NAMM show, we did like a, design by committee. Should we have herringbone? Show of hands. Everybody was
right.
And then later on the booth, they said, on second thought, maybe. but before you said no. Okay. What? Okay.
What?
Pick guard? Yeah. No pick guard.
No pick guard.
Designed by committee.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're part of the AIM group, which is a wonderful organization.
Yeah.
And the Tarpley family's been super to us. And,
awesome.
And I think to their customers as well.
I would say I'd relay the message, but they're going to watch this.
That's not just smoke. It's real deal.
Sure.
I mean, it's really about the people, not the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. The numbers help. So buy one if you're into Alvarez guitars.
Please.
Yeah, anyway. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. This was amazing to hang out with Jay. Of course, just make sure you like this video. It's very important. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, shame on you. You should subscribe. You just literally click a little button, and then you're subscribed with us. And then if you'd like to know as we drop more videos, we are dropping videos every single week, and just turn on notifications, and we will see you on the next one. All right. Say bye, Jay.
Quick note. If you want to talk to me, contact me about guitars, whatever. It's Jay at St. Louis Music, STLU Music, .com. And the J, just a single J, stands for genius.
You are a brave person giving out your email to our...
Jay Hayes.
Yeah.
And that's STLOUIS Music, not Saint.
It's not Saint. It's not SAINT.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think they can figure that out. All right, we will see you on the next one. Flip flop. Oh, nice ending G there. You say J for genius? I just got that.
Thank you
That was
very
terrible.
much.
That took me that long to get the joke.